Alright, so this is going to be a video on how to get out of Amex pop-up jail. I'm going to be reading this article and then telling you my personal story of how I got out of pop-up jail. So this is on upgradedpoints.com, very popular website for credit cards and stuff like that. So pop-up jail, if you don't know, is this phenomenon with Amex where you cannot get an intro bonus with Amex for a certain period of time. They call this pop-up jail. It's called pop-up jail because you get the pop-up after the credit card application that will tell you that it'll tell you that you are going to get the card, you're going to get approved for the card, but you can't get the intro bonus. So that's why it's called pop-up jail. Now, we're going to go through these and try to figure out what's the way to get out of pop-up jail, because a lot of people have issues with this. So according to Upgraded Points, their first option is call in to apply. Now personally, for me, I haven't had a lot of success with calling in with credit card or with banks rather, to get stuff like changed up and stuff. Like, I think sometimes it does work, but a lot of times I haven't had any success with Recon Line, for example. I've never had success with that. I know for some people it works. I think some people just got a certain pool, or if you got like good history with a certain bank or something, higher spenders, stuff like that, you'll get benefit of the doubt. Besides that, it could be really tough to try to get something fixed over the phone when you're trying to do, whether it's recon or something like this, which is kind of recon too, because you're asking for reconsideration on getting an intro bonus for a card that they already told you can't get. Number 2 is applying for different cards. They say if you're finding yourself getting the dreaded pop-up from Amex, try applying for cards from different families. Which for this, I don't believe that this works either. If I'm gonna be honest, I don't think that this works. And then number 3 is try to spend on existing cards. That's what I did. So for me, that's how I got out of pop-up jail. I was in pop-up jail for some months. I was trying to get a Amex Platinum card. I did get the Amex Platinum card. I kind of bit the bullet and got it without the intro bonus. But at that time, I was not putting spend on any of my Amex cards. So I was just, I think I was doing a city one, maybe a American Airlines city card. So I wasn't putting any spend on my Amex cards, and I was in pop-up jail. I was putting a bunch of spend on my Platinum card, and that's how I got out of pop-up jail. And I even know that when I applied for my Platinum card, I applied for the Delta Gold as well, and I was in pop-up jail for that one as well. So if you want to get out of pop-up jail, it's all about spend. Now the question is, how long do you have to spend and how much? That is a more mysterious question for me. I think the question of how to get out of pop-up jail is pretty simple. It's gonna be put spend on the card. If you're putting spend on the card, generally speaking, like, you look good, they're gonna give you the intro bonus, which is just standard practice. They'll go on with standard practice. But my question is more of how much and how consistent, and questions like that. That is what we don't know. That is the question that probably has a lot of nuance to the answer, and we don't quite have that answer. But I would say personally, as advice, if you were trying to get out of pop-up jail, do what I did and pretty much just put 90 to 100% spend on your Amex card, and then try monthly from that point on until you see that you're out of pop-up jail. I think that would be a good rule of thumb, is just spend 90 to 100, or put 90 to 100% of your spend on an Amex card. So that's what worked with me. I'm pretty sure if anyone else has any other ideas, I think this one is the answer. If not the singular answer, definitely a tried and true method of how to get out of pop-up jail. I think it definitely works. with some nuance, but my rule of thumb would be put 90 to 100% of your spend just all on an Amex for 1 to 3 months. If it doesn't work after 3 months, that would be alarming, but at least try that. That should get you out of pop-up jail. And just use that rule of thumb, because if not, the nuance, it can make it a little hard. So tell me, guys, have you gotten out of pop-up jail doing another method? That'd be interesting to know. I don't think there is another way, but that'd be really interesting to find out new data points with it. But let me know in the comments. See you guys in the next one.